Hi, this is Trevor Conquergood. Welcome to this week's RNK Software Club's video of the week, and the topic for this week is presets. Do you use presets? Do you know what a preset is? Let me demonstrate. I'm going to select this letter F, which is simply a piece of artwork currently, and look to the bottom of my screen. And so if I left click on any one of these tools, we will get the default settings. So left click on Motif Fill, you'll get the pattern number 242. Left click on Fancy Fill, you'll get a filled in pattern with 201. But if you right click over top of these tools, there may be presets. And there'll be the ability to create your own. You can save a preset, remove your presets. And so notice I've got a preset in here that's the TC at size 10. And so if I choose that, it's going to fill in this shape with a custom motif that I created with my initials, TC. And if I right click on the tool, I can choose TC size 15 and it'll make them therefore bigger. So the point is, I created my own custom motif. And yes, you can pull it up at any time from the pattern list here and set the size and everything like that. But if you have created something that you really love and you want to use it again, you can make it as a preset. And so this is an example. For example, the new preset, have you seen the new preset? It's called the backstitch, and it's under the run stitch. If you right click on the run stitch, you will now have a preset that comes installed with the software called backstitch. All the other ones that I have are ones that I've created myself. But this is a new one that comes with the software. You're going to love the backstitch because it's a great sort of way to accent a line. It's just a little more bold than your standard kind of single run line. It's sort of like a triple stitch because it goes forward and then forward again and then takes a step back. Forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back. And by doing that, the step back takes a small step to the left, and it gives this a very thin but bold kind of column run line, a little bit more bold than a regular bean stitch or a 3-ply run stitch. So that's called a preset. Now, for example, if you select on this letter F and you choose Motif Fill, and then you start playing with your motif fills and you choose one or two that you really like, and so there's one. Now let's mix them up and add another one. And so see how when I mix two patterns together that it repeats them? And you can mix any two patterns together. And so go ahead and kind of have fun trying different motif patterns. But there's obviously a large selection that you can choose from. And whatever ones you choose becomes your latest kind of pattern. And so if you love this pattern, you can also adjust the size, the stitch length. So basically get it how you like it. Let's make it smaller and get a little more of it. And so I'm like, that's it. I know I'm going to want to do more letters with this special pattern that I've come up with. And so right now I come down to the tool and I right click. So I need to have selected whatever it is that I want to create a preset for. And so I right click over top of the Motif Fill tool and I say Save Preset, and you give it a name. So double diamond or something. And call it whatever you like, something that means something to you. And so now that's been saved. And if we go and get another letter from our easy shapes, and you want to do FTCU, and so you get the T and you put that over here beside your F. Now all you have to do is right click on your preset to get your double diamond, and bingo, you've got a matching fill pattern for both. So that's what's really cool about presets. And of course, we got the new preset, the backstitch outline. A lot of times they look great together. Notice how when you do a motif outline or a motif fill for this letter T, that there may be some times where there's like a part of the outline of the T that doesn't actually have any kind of a line there. Well, so the way we correct that is we select our shape, use copy and paste. And so the new one that gets pasted on top, the second one, you can right click and do that as a backstitch or a single run line or a bean stitch or a steel border, any kind of outline that will help kind of connect all the dots around the letter T. Just kind of makes it look a little bit more finished, I guess. And that's one of my favorite reasons to use the backstitch, is to like give this line a little bit more detailed definition. It's the outline. You want it to stand out a little bit. So let's make a fun little design. And so I'm just going to use the oval tool to create kind of like an ellipse like this. And then you're going to select that. And so choose your, whatever kind of preset you want to fill it in with. So, here's one that I've made previously. But if you're thinking it seems too small, then you can come in here and adjust at any time. It's not like because you used a preset that you still can't go in and make adjustments, and so you've got your background the way you like it. And now you want to basically go copy and paste. Now notice when I say copy and paste that the one that pasted goes directly on top of the first one. And that's really convenient in this case because we want the outline to be in the same place. We just want to change it. We don't really want two of the same motif fill. I'm going to right click over top of run stitch and make that second one a backstitch. So there we've got kind of like a nice oval pattern with the backstitch sewing around it. Now to make this kind of a little bit more interesting, I'll select that oval and use the contour tool and create sort of like additional shapes that are, at a set spacing. So it's set at space 0.12 of an inch, but you can have however far apart you want, however many number of ripples you want, but you're going to go to the outside or to the inside or both, and then say okay. So see what it did? It made 5 little ripples, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around our shape. So what I'll do now is I'll select those ripples, and notice it says it's artwork. So it made, it didn't create embroidery, it just created the artwork shapes, and it looks like it's all one thing, only I thought we made 5 rings, right? So what I need to do is use the break apart tool. So anytime something's been combined, the opposite of combine is break apart. So combine is here, break apart is here. If I click on break apart, notice that when I look at the color blue now, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individual shapes, and you can select on those individual shapes and apply embroidery to them. Now, I notice when I do the contour tool that the first one is the furthest in the shape, and the last one is the center in the shape. And I'm not saying that's right or it's wrong. It's just the way it seems to work. And so, of course, you can always rearrange these to any sewing sequence you want, right? You just click and drag to move this one to be, before or after. So this is kind of how it works. Now, basically, if I select this shape and then I click on the right click on the run stitch tool, make it a backstitch. Select the next one in the group. Right click onto the motif run line. I've got a bunch of different, preset motif run lines. If you don't have one, then you just left click to get the basic one, right? So there's the default one, and now you can go in and choose whatever one you want it to be. And so it's kind of fun. You've got all these different rings, and you get to decide what kind of cool, interesting stitching will go on each one of the row rings around your design. So kind of having fun with that. Choose whichever one you want. Click apply. Then click on the next ring and just keep assigning new types of stitches to it. So I'll do like a back stitch, a motif stitch, a bat stitch, then another motif stitch, and then another back stitch to kind of make a little decoration. And so when I do the motif run, something that's really cool about that is you can do more than one. See where it says multiple? So rather than doing just this one, if I click on multiple, it gives me a little sort of selection, button that when I click on it, I can choose them. So choose your first motif, right? What do you want to put as the first motif in your group of what will be multiple ones? And so I tried like this kind of candlewick type stitch, and then you click add. So that's the first one in the row. What do you want to do next, right? Choose another type of stitch and scroll through your different types of stitches and choose, I think I chose 2 of them and said add, but you can put 3, 4, 5. I don't believe there's any limit to the number of ones that you can put in a row. So I just put 2. And so when I say okay and apply, it'll put every other one. And so isn't this unique? I mean, honestly, you guys, I've never seen an embroidery software ever that had this many sort of creative possibilities. Now that I've made this cool new sort of like star combined with a candle wick, special motif. If I know I'm going to use it again, I come down to the run line, to the Motif run line tool, and I right click and say save this preset, and call it the star space whatever candle. Star candle wick, or give it a name that means something to you, right? The Jimmy Jab or whatever it is. But as long as you can remember it, that's all that really matters, right? And some people have really interesting names for what they'll call their favorite stitches, and that's wholly what you can do. Anyway, select the last one, right click, make it a backstitch. So I think you're going to want to make presets to be able to kind of save your favorite stitches that you're creating. And so once you've made a bunch of these presets, what you'll also want to do is know how to back them up, because when you do updates to your software, you want to make sure that you make a backup of them. If you're just updating the software, it shouldn't actually ever lose them. However, if you ever uninstall the software and then reinstall it or move to a new computer, you're going to want to know how to update your presets, and that's under your Tools drop-down menu where it says Export and Import Presets. So there's presets and there's assets. I'll talk about assets in another video. Today the topic is presets, and so if I say export presets, it'll come up with every preset that I've ever made, and I can scroll through and see all of them. I can see these are presets that I've made for standard fills. These are presets that I've made for my motif fills. These are presets that I've made for motif runs. And if you don't, you can check them all and select them all, or you can uncheck them all and then just select which ones you want to send out, to export. And when you say export, it will make a file that will be saved to your sort of Floriani. Well, you save it, I guess, look, it's wherever I want to save it. So I guess I'll put it on my desktop so I know where it goes and call it whatever I want. Presets. And hit save. So now I know I've got a backup, and if I move to a new computer, I know that where it is and how to get it. And then when I get my new computer, I go under Tools, and I go under Import Presets, and I select that same file from my desktop and say Open. And it says some of the presets are the same as the ones you've already gotten. Do you want to overwrite them? Okay, and that's fine, but if you've already got them, but it wouldn't say that if I was doing brand new, right? And so you get to now kind of customize which ones you do or don't want to import at this point based upon, oh, I already have this one. So, okay, all that said, you guys, that's how you can create a preset, use a preset. That's how you can create cool motif fills and motif run lines that are like customized ones. These are what they kind of stitch out like. And so there's your little oval. I put a little kind of custom motif fill, a little custom motif run line. And that's what those cool little stitches look like. The back stitch, the combo stitch. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video of the week. Until next time, have a great day and bye for now.